Well, good evening, everyone. Team Lifetree. It's so good to see everyone tonight and our Monday night. Every Monday night, we just have something special. And it's just special to be here with everyone. And tonight, I know we have some real special things. And we have Mark and Krista in the house. So we're going to let them go ahead and take leadership tonight. So, Mark and Krista, are you there?
Nope. But
No?
Marcus, Krista has left me hanging. She's got a mom's discipleship group on Monday nights. I think this is their last week together, so I'm sure she's there she is. She's coming on now. Tying up our account, by the way. So that's funny. So no, that's been really fun. And gosh, we had you don't want to hear. But I have to tell you, so we were expecting an extended family member, a dear Krista's brother's wife's mom has been a missionary in a very dangerous place overseas for her lifetime. And it's her 70th birthday. She happens to be stateside. And so they were coming by today, she and my sister-in-law. So we were going to get to hug her neck and give her some birthday wishes. Well, long story short, we found out about 30 minutes before they got here that they were bringing her brother and wife from Philadelphia, his sister from India, who's a long-term missionary, and then a family of four, the other daughter. Anyway, we ended up with about 15 people here this afternoon that we didn't know were coming. And I was fixing a sink drain because why not? So I will do my best to get through tonight. Fortunately, the call tonight is not dependent on me. I have my lovely backup and partner in crime, Krista, coming on. But more importantly than that, we have some brand new rank advancements that we get to hear from tonight. One of those is a dear sister in the Lord. I guess we met last year, didn't we, Cynthia, at the Building Depth event in Atlanta? And Cynthia invited her brother Rob, had a lovely, amazing lunch as part of that event, and looking forward to seeing you again this coming Friday and Saturday in Atlanta. Um, that's going to be awesome. That event is at the DoubleTree in Marietta. And for those of you that have not yet registered for that event that can come, it's $25 for the whole weekend, 9 to 5, both days, Friday and Saturday. You can register on the Building Depth Facebook group or
Hey,
Building
Mark,
Depth 5x5, either one.
I'm seeing $69 there. Has it changed?
Probably,
Okay.
probably, probably because it's now in Atlanta, not St. George, where we got such a great deal. So thank you, Renee. $69 still pretty good. So there's the plug for that. But Cynthia Bryan, give it up. Brand new MC1. And I happen to know a little bit about her journey. She worked her tail off. Before we hear, well, I've got a couple other rank announcements. I know that Tiffany was part of that journey for you. Tiffany just hit customer C3 rank. So maybe you can give her a shout out as well and talk about that. But it is my privilege to introduce my sister from another Mr. Miss Cynthia Bryan from South Georgia. Cynthia,
Hey,
share your story. How did you do that?
okay. Well, I want to introduce my husband. He's in the room with me. Can you get it?
Right.
This is
Uh-huh.
Duke.
There's the brains of the operation. Hey man.
Yeah. So he's been a great support, and wanted him to be able to listen in on the call too.
Right on.
Yeah. So I have been very I don't know how cautious, I should say, until January, until this past month, with LifeVantage, meaning that just about being real vocal on social media probably is the main thing I mean by that. But also, I someone was asking me about why things went so well in January, and one of the reasons is I was so bad at follow up for the last 2 years, and so I did the follow up in January, and had to remind some people of what I told them about a year ago, that kind of thing. And I do want to I had some great team members and great customers that knew what I was working toward, and uh, ordered some extra things that they had been thinking about, like the skincare system or the GLP-1. And so that was really cool. As I was thinking about what I would encourage people in, um, there were relationships was the key thing that kept coming up. And when I got started in Life Vantage 2 years ago, I would think of someone that I needed to tell about the product that I knew it would be beneficial to them, but I hadn't talked to them in like 5 years. So I would message and just say, "Hey, how are you doing? Thinking about you." And we'd start this conversation. And literally, it would be months later, they would come to my mind and I would reach out to them. And I know that's a really slow process, but that was really helpful for me just to reconnect with people before I told them about the business side of it. But then I think I was too cautious in a lot of ways, because a lot of people that I shared with this past month that I had not made initial contacts with sincerely thanked me for telling them about it. I mean, it was just really refreshing to hear people uh, respond so well. And I want to just encourage all of y'all. I think y'all do that, is listen to what people are saying when you talk to them. You know, if you ask people how they're doing and just probe a little bit, there's going to be something that you can help them with. If their parents are dealing with dementia, or their body's aching, or they're complaining about weight after the holidays, I mean, it was just a matter of kind of talking to people and then listening to what they were dealing with, and then following up and say, I've got something that maybe could help. And just being, I'm a believer. I'm prayerful about things, and I would ask the Lord, like, who do I need to reach out to, and I would make a list. And then I'd ask the Lord again another day, who do I need to reach out to? And I would have another list. And then I started combining my list and doing the follow up. Um, I I do not have a good memory, especially about what things people tell me. So I've started in my contacts on my phone. I will, in the notes, write what condition they were dealing with, or if their parents are dealing with diabetes, or whatever it is that stood out in my mind that I knew would be helpful, that I had something that could help them. I would make notes of that so I could follow up and remind them of why we had the discussion in the past. Um, let's see. There's something I learned just last month, I think it was. It was that on iPhones you can schedule texts. Um, that was a really big deal for me, because I tend to get really focused on getting things done late in the day, like after 9 o'clock. And so I can't call and text people, but I could text and schedule it to be delivered at 8:30 the next morning when I'm super busy and don't have time to send out texts. So I would literally, when I was pushing to try to uh, get consultants and sales at night, like from 9 to 11 or midnight, I would be sending out texts, and there would be like, 12 or 15 texts would go out in the morning while I'm running off to work. And so that was super helpful. And if someone has an Android phone, I learned this: if you put your phone on airplane mode and send a text, it'll say message send failure. And then the next morning, like at 8:30, I would go through and resend all the texts that had said message send failure. So I didn't have to write them, figure that out, take that time in the morning. And so it would all go out in the morning. That I work a regular job from 9 to 5. So that's what I had to do to get that in. Let's see, phone calls, and face to face is great. Phone calls are great. I really tried to be deliberate about my lunches, like I'm gonna meet somebody for lunch, or I'm gonna be talking to somebody on the phone, or meet people for coffee. I can think of a couple of times where I met with someone and in my mind, I was like, I am not going to mention LifeVantage. I'm just going to connect with them. And by the end of the lunch, like there was just this wide open door to some issue they were dealing with. And I'm like, I have to tell you about something. There's this thing, that reduces inflammation and you really need it. Would you, and so it just seemed like just in the relationships and the conversations, things just come up where you see where what we have helps people. I will turn 57 this month. And so I have a lot of people who are a lot of my friends. I grew up in Thomasville. A lot of my classmates are turning 57 as well around this time. So I have a lot of connections that something I would regularly say is as we age, there are things that happen and there are ways we can age well. And so that was like the thing I would reach out to a lot of people with. There was something else that I realized as I started going back through this in January. Well, I guess it was the second week of January. I was talking to people on our team and realizing that I was in striking distance of the Alaska trip. And I didn't even realize that. I didn't even know it. And I thought, well, I'm going to give it my all at least in January and just see what I can do and then what I will have to do after that. And so I started going back through all my text threads, just scrolling back and looking at all the names I'd talked to in the past, text and messenger. I went through all my like back a year or more and just pulling out the people that I hadn't followed up with. And it was interesting to me. Some people I thought had said, no, I'm not interested. When I actually read what they wrote, it was, I can't meet with you tonight. Or it was something like that. I can't go tonight, or I can't, not right now. And so it was really surprising to me as I went back through those, how I had processed that to start with was not really what they said. I had received it as a no.
Oh.
So, I reached back out to those people as well. I also did 3 Zoom meetings that I hosted, one a week in the last 3 weeks of January. And, our team here is amazing. Julie White led for me, and David Meissner and Krista Harris, and the people that got on the call or came in person. It was great. But I also had just several people each time that responded and said, I'm interested, but I can't be there that night. And so that gave me more prospects to follow up with and share about it. And then the other thing was incentives. Like as it got toward the end of the month, I'm like, I need this in by January 31st. So I started encouraging people, if you do it by the 30th, I'll give you something in return. There's something, I've got a special deal going, or I'll give you a 10% rebate. Like I'll, in my mind, I'm like, I'll give you my commission to get you on subscription so you can start experiencing the product. And so that was really helpful. And I set the deadline for January 30th. So on the 31st, I would know what I had to do on that last day. But I'm glad January had 31 days. Let me just say, like I needed all 31 days that's for sure. Let's see. And, our team is great. I had so much encouragement from Krista and David and Lena, Julie, it was just so encouraging and so much help getting there. And my team was great too. And I'm super excited about taking a couple to building depth this weekend and just continuing to follow up. I have several people who weren't able to get their orders in January, but still haven't said no. So I have more to follow up with. Yeah.
Nice.
Wow. That was awesome.
It was awesome.
That
Krista,
was
you first.
Yeah, I want to commend Jody first of all for finding Cynthia. And if y'all don't know, I don't know how much y'all know Jody, but just such an incredible woman as well. Both Cynthia and Jody are, and y'all, Jody's really close to MC2. Just so y'all know, that's our big push this next month. But these two women decided that they wanted to win this trip, and they put their heads down, and they are doing it, and they're scheduling calls with people. We've gone back and forth with text messages. We set up a call with Cynthia and David, just to walk through detail by detail. David started expressing, get it in writing, find out from the company, make sure this is what you have to do, get confirmation, all of the things that you have to do to really go, okay, we're going to get Cynthia and Jody on this trip. And as much as we can support them, it's taking them, it's their effort. It's literally their effort. And I just want to say, Cynthia, you sharing all the little details of what you did is just brilliant. Just brilliant. And there's some of the things I didn't even know you were doing. And so I knew you were doing a lot because I was getting a lot of text messages about where you were and what you're doing and what you still had to do, etc. So I knew every time I got a text, this is what she's doing. She's going to hit it. I had no doubt. But it's just fascinating to hear all the little details and all the little things that you did. And I want to commend you and you too, Jody, because I know you're about to be in a big push this month. So y'all deserve this. You've done a beautiful job, and you've just both have been a reflection of wanting to help people. And it's not just for the cruise. It's that you've gone, you know what, the more people I reach out to and really help means that I get to go on a cruise, which is such a glorious thing. And Cynthia, I love the fact that you were reflective on not following up and then rereading some of those messages and finding out that you had just read them with sort of a negative perspective. How many times have we done that? And then when you reread them, you went, wait a second, they weren't shutting me down. Why did I think that before? So I love that. I think that's brilliant. So I just commend you. We're so excited for you. We got to push through this month, and you just need to hear that we're with you, and we got to get you where you got to be so you can get those last couple of what I think a track or something that you have to seal the deal. But I'm so excited for you. Congratulations.
So well done. I know David's got his hand up. What you got, bud?
Oh, David muted.
Unmute one more time.
I just muted myself.
Yeah.
It's so good to see your face. I am so happy for you. You worked so hard in doing this. You never gave up. And in my best month, I think I enrolled 7 people. Those were my best months. A lot of 5s, a lot of 6s, and I think I got 7 one time. Cynthia, you enrolled 16 people. 16
And hit
people.
diamond.
Yeah, and went diamond.
Right.
Yeah, and 2 consultants, 14 customers. And Cynthia, what you bring to the table is a genuine, sincere, authentic. Mark, what other words can I use here? Mark's a thesaurus too.
Humble, transparent, hardworking, intentional.
Yeah, and so
diligent, excellent.
Yeah, we got it. People trust you. You exude trust, and that's why people will enroll. And I know everybody on this call right now is a trustworthy person. I love all of you and your hearts. I know that. And I love how Cynthia she was thinking in her mind, I'm not going to mention LifeVantage. I'm not going to mention LifeVantage, right? And that's good because it puts the brakes on, our commission breath. And then, but then you get to connecting with somebody and you just hear their needs and what they're struggling with, and you have an answer. So by that time, you have already, sincerely listened to them. But now you've tilled the soil, right? You've tilled the soil of their heart. So now they're ready to hear a possible solution for what's ailing them. So well done, good job. You need to maintain, this month that MC1 again and get that track. And girl, you are taking your husband. How many of you have or less than fully believing spouses? Right? So you get to take your husband on a all expense paid on an Alaskan cruise, and he's gonna be like, okay, honey, this is legit. I'm gonna fully support you now. So I am so excited to see the pictures that you and Jody send back from that cruise, and I'm so excited for you. That's great.
Hey, while you're on, why don't you give a shout out to Dr. Amy? She's on as well.
Yeah. So this is her. Oh, she's on. Hey, there she is. She just got on. I know this is her husband night. Thank you, Tim, for giving up your wife for a few minutes here. Dr. Amy, she sprinted at the end when she realized how close she was to the next rank of SC2.
SC2.
She was
Awesome.
busy. She's seeing patients. She got involved with a lot of stuff, and so sometimes we need reminders. That's part of the upline's role, is to remind people. And she's like, oh my gosh, and I forget how much volume you're away from it, but you cranked it out. You did what was necessary to do it.
Yeah,
Go.
thank you.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah, I think I was 500 away like the day before, and was like, oh my gosh, I checked off all these other boxes. I think I could do this. And actually at first I thought, no, man, I was so close. And David, you encouraged me. You were like, no, you can do this. And so we did it.
So good, Amy.
Great
Awesome.
job. Great job. You worked hard.
Thank you.
Yeah, so that brings me back around. One of the things that Krista and I were talking about when Jody and Cynthia sort of raised their hand and said, we want to do this. That is a hallmark that leaders look for, people that deserve their time. When you see people doing what you've done, when you see people working as hard as you've worked, and you just recognize it. You just like, that's a leader right there. That's the behavior. The end of the month, they're on the phone, and you know exactly where they are. They know exactly where they are. They know where their people are, how close they are. So really well done, ladies. And I know, Jody, you're so close to MC2, and which means David is approaching EC1. So I just want to run that flag up the pole and say, as a team, whether you're in David's team or not, let's get him over that finish line before convention in April. That just needs to happen. So I want to put that on everybody's radar. Let's decide as a team to help this team get David and Lena to EC1 and crossing that stage as new executives in Salt Lake. Nothing would make me happier. Even us rank advancing. I mean that. Even us rank advancing, I don't think would make me happier than watching David and Lena hit the executive ranks. And then that means these guys have also rank advanced again. Jody, if we can get you on those building depth MC2 plus calls, second and fourth Tuesdays, man, that's going to be a game changer as well.
Yeah.
We need you on those calls. And David, we need you on the leadership team for building depth as well. So really, really fun, guys. So well done. And I want to mention, I know Dr. Amy brought in Nathan Hoover, who just hit a brand new C2 rank as well. So that's how it works. You help new people and then you help them rank advance, and then you rank advance. It's awesome. I'm so excited. I did not get a Momentum Monday email. Anybody else?
I did.
Go without? I did not get mine. But I'm on the hub, and I want to mention just a couple things. And Krista, you can pick up my slack. Of course, the
Hey,
building.
before you go there, can I say one more thing?
Yes, please.
Hey, Debbie, I'm sorry. Before
Hey,
you
Debbie.
go off of accomplishments, I just wanted to recognize Janine McClellan. She's on the call and she reached Emerald in January for the first time.
Well
So I
done.
want to give her a shout out.
Well done,
Yeah.
Janine. I didn't know that.
Janine.
That's awesome.
Lee, thank you for stopping me, Debbie. Yeah, if anybody knows of any other rank advancements or qualifying advancements, please, absolutely. That's awesome, Debbie. Was that your raised hand, or did you raise it again? Okay.
That was it.
Okay, if I can do this, anybody can do this. Yes, building depth. Doubletree and Marietta start at 9 o'clock this coming Friday, and we'll go till 5. And And then Saturday, 9 to 5 as well. Krista and I will both be there. It's going to be awesome. So it'll be a fantastic event. I think Tyler Daniels is going to be there. I think we'll have a corporate representative there. Renee, are you coming?
I wouldn't miss it. Are you kidding?
All right. Renee's coming.
I'll
Cynthia's
be there.
coming. Jody, are you coming?
Debbie's coming too.
Oh, that's going to
Yeah,
be
Debbie's
so
coming.
I'll
So-
be
And John-
there.
John's coming,
Cyn-
Carol's coming.
Carol, you
Cindy
coming?
will be there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Carol's
Oh, it's
Carol's
going to be
coming. We got a party.
in hot Atlanta, baby. It's going to be good.
Gonna be
It is
fun.
going to be hot.
And
Did
what's
y'all see
really
the weather?
fun, last year we had a ton of the Amish crew as well that came in as well. And boy, I mean, you think I'm being funny, but they're hilarious and awesome. Always have great fun with Toby and of course our very own Harvey from Kansas City as well. Conventions coming up April 24th and 26th. I want to give a shout out. I thought Rick Hawthorne was on here. I don't see him. He'll be listening to the recording. He's got a brand new consultant that signed up with the Business Builder Pack, Larry Thornton. Welcome, Larry, if you're watching the replay. But they are coming to convention. Rick and his late wife, Virginia, ran a very successful vaulting equine center in LA. And he and Larry both survived the fires out there. And really excited to meet Larry as well. Just a quality guy. Larry's the treasurer for the National Buffalo Soldiers Association and on the awards committee for the LA Film Festival. That's
Yeah.
cool.
And
Pretty neat.
this is his LifeVantage site, and I love this. Horse.lifevantage.com.
Rex, you mean?
Isn't that amazing? No,
Yeah, that's
it's
awesome.
Larry's.
That's Larry?
Yes.
Ah, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
They're under Dr. Cheryl North as well. So really fun to see that team growing as well. There's an account cleanup coming March 1st. Surely you've seen that, but if not, you should just know that if you have customers that haven't ordered in 3 years, that account will be wiped away forever.
And consultants, babe.
Consultants that haven't been active in a year. So consultants 1 year, customers 3 years. So just go through your organization and see, because there's going to be a lot of people that get purged that didn't want to be purged necessarily. They just sort of,
And two, I would encourage you guys to you're gonna forget some of these people. I hate to say it, but it just happens that they even took the product. So it would be good to print it, to go through and print like all your customers from years back. So work through that. Mark, I'm just aware that Jody's got a question or she wants to say something. I don't know if you saw.
hey girl.
Well, I wasn't trying to interrupt. I was just, when you were talking about coming to building depth, I just was so excited too that I have a new consultant, Christy Wooten, and I think she chatted last time and shared a little bit of her story, but I am so proud of her. She's jumping on and going to building depth in her 2nd month of being a consultant. So I am super, super excited. But tonight, because she had that stroke, she's at a meeting. She found a meeting for stroke, families. And so she's been invited to go in there and speak tonight. So, and just how she wants life being it. So we're so excited about that. But my sister's also flying in from Denver. So I was just excited for all the people that are doing building depth. It is it changes everything in your mindset. So I just thank you for that. Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely. No, it's going to be so
Renee,
fun.
you had something to say, Renee, too? I see your hand.
Yeah, I do. You were speaking about account cleanup. Now, next Monday, we're going to be talking about some of the nuggets that got dropped during our building depth. The week after that, the Monday after that, our training is going to be a time where I actually go in and show you how to go through your back office and find those people.
Oh, good.
So we're going to actually in 2 weeks going to be training on how to find them, to connect with them, and
Okay.
maybe even how to start the dialogue. We'll talk a little bit about that.
That's so good. So good. Thank you, Renee, for doing that.
That's brilliant.
Really helpful.
Yeah.
I wanted to say too that so when I heard about that they're going to be going through and terminating people, I sent an email from our back office, and several people have reached out to me and actually called me because I put my name on the email, and they called me and they were like, I used to take this and I want to take it again. And so they went and signed up, to get back on subscription. So I got like 3 different phone calls with people that I didn't even know.
Oh, that is excellent.
Wow, Julie, that's amazing.
Yeah, I know. So I just encourage everybody to, take advantage of it.
Yep, good.
Thank you for that. I realized on onboarding Larry this week with Rick that boy, there's just so many resources. There's so many calls. There's so many training sessions. I want to point out in the hub, as I was getting ready for the call tonight, and looking for my Monday momentum um, email and not finding it. Thank you. Words escape me. I went on the hub and noticed this under the February at a glance on the hub. So it's the first panel for latest news. And this struck me. Every Tuesday, live trainings for the corporate sales team. February 3rd, which is tonight, open the month with Life Vantage leaders. Tomorrow is the science behind the healthy weight stack with Lisa Barnes. February 11th, tips for enrolling with the healthy weight stack. February 18th, the healthy weight stack can help you with retention. February 25th, hitting new ranks with a healthy weight stack. Are you sensing a trend? The healthy weight stack is really the sort of the buzzword that we're all using, and why not? Because it's awesome.
Well, you guys, y'all should look at the research that's just come out about the healthy weight stack. Like, if you're not losing weight yet, what I'm saying is don't give up. You are changing your body. Your body is changing. So you got to read the research on what that stuff says. I mean, it is shocking. So if you're not taking all 3, so you want the GLP, mind body, and you want the nerve tube, definitely you want them all, because of what's coming out with these studies. It's just shocking. It's amazing.
So on this same hub webpage, landing page, February at a glance, halfway down, you'll see where to find that study. And this should be one of your first stop resources to share with people that you're sharing the healthy weight stack with. That's just awesome information. And Renee didn't have to put that together. And I didn't either. It's just there, and that's awesome. So make sure you're clicking on that link and putting that someplace that you can just zip it over to a prospect. Really helpful as well. Last thing, the Alaska cruise, and I wanted to point this out. This is always, always, always an important part of the process of success in network marketing. Cynthia and Jody made a decision, and Dr. Amy, they made a decision. Like, oh, we could do that. We could do that thing. I'm going to do that thing. For Jody and for Cynthia was qualifying for Alaska. They've decided to qualify for Alaska, and that qualification period goes through March. But I just want to encourage you, go to your back office, look at your tracker and go and see what your points are. It's 300 points to go to Alaska, and just see where you are. And you could decide also to go to Alaska if you wanted to. You could look at your back office and see, oh, I'm only 500 points away from my next rank advancement. I could decide to do that this month, or 2,500 points, or 10,000 points, or whatever. You can, and that part of the process always starts with a decision to do the thing. So I just want to affirm that process, you guys, and so well done, just exemplary, and why not? Because it's awesome, and man, there's never been a better time to gather people with awesome products. Pick one. Doesn't have to be GLP-1. Pick one. There. Pick Pet Tandem. It's awesome. Pick Axio. It's awesome. Pick the gosh, what's our True Science shampoo and conditioner? They're awesome. They're just awesome. So anyway, I'm rambling. Babe, you got anything else before we turn it back over?
Mark, can I say this too? I mean, this was just so cool with Cynthia, because when I looked and I saw, we were just talking about how close she was. We just met for lunch and she was asking me how to do, I don't know, Instagram or something. And we were talking about how close she was. And I remember in the back of my mind, I'm like, Cynthia is so busy. Like so busy. This is not going to be like a priority for her. But she hadn't even looked. So I'm just saying, you guys look, see where you are, because it was just crazy to watch like the light turn on in her eye. And she was like, I can do this. And honestly, if she'd have looked at it, if she'd have looked at every detail, she would have talked herself out of it. She just started running. And so I'm just saying, it really spoke to me about, I almost didn't say anything. And so I just think as art, just to be really, if I hadn't mentioned it, she wouldn't have pushed. And so I just think it's so important that I had to get over my, oh, it's not important to Cynthia, and just ask, do
Yeah.
you want to do this? So anyway,
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Great. Fantastic. Renee?
Yeah, I just saw this, an email that came in just before 4 o'clock. A lot of us, we love working with our corporate folk. And for many of us, Kim Perkins has been that link to corporate. She's stepping out of that position.
I know, I got that email too.
Yeah. And so she says that she loves working with us. Stay in touch. I'm sure she'll see us. She's going to be transitioning to work with our new sales director. So Gentry will be still working with us for now. But just so you know, if you've been wanting to reach out to Kim Perkins, I know, David, she's moving on up with our corporate staff, as happens with our corporate staff.
Yep.
And so she's
The
going to be
worst
moving
part
up.
of LifeVantage is losing the people you love when they've been so helpful.
Move you
to
up.
That's
Yeah.
what I told her today.
Yeah.
But
And Kim is always, she's always good for a building depth visit or two each year as well. So she might be in St. George in
She
July.
actually came to Macon. I met Kim at a live event as a cross-line friend, and I did an event in Macon and did a training, and she came to that. And of course, arms full of gifts,
Yeah.
little gift for the folks who showed up. So
yeah,
yeah, she's just a great human.
Yeah.
yeah, she is, and has not had a easy life with her son.
Mm-mm.
So pray for her. Her son has cancer, and so they're constantly in a battle there, just trying to make sure he's okay. So it's just not been easy, but she's beautiful and wonderful. So
Oh,
any of y'all that have contact with her, email her and just appreciate her.
speaking of that, I've got a little praise report. Some of you will remember Dan Arnold. He's in our organization. He lives here in Kansas City. He got cancer, very aggressive, stage 4, heavily metastasized. Got a terrible bill of health back in October. And I just met with him on what day?
Couple of days, 2 days ago, maybe.
Yeah, Friday maybe. He's doing awesome. And right now, I don't know that anybody would make any declarations of being in remission or cancer free, but man, the Lord's been gracious to him. He's probably gonna stick around for quite a few more years now. So if you know Dan, reach out to him, tell him you're praying for him, and just tell him we were bragging on his progress because he's doing so well right now. So really good to see my buddy Dan. He's lovely. So with that, I think I'm done on my stuff. Renee, Julie, Debbie, David, anybody?
I would like to say something. I would just like to say congratulations, Cynthia, Jody, Dr. Amy. It's amazing just the progress that you've made. And I'm so proud of you. And Cynthia, I just have loved watching you this last month. And I was just so blessed to see you doing weekly meetings and, doing the in-home meeting and then, including the Zoom and getting so many people involved. And I think what blesses me the most is just how everybody comes together and everybody just, helps each other and encourages each other. And you get these messages, and it's just so wonderful to see. And I have to say that I agree with Mark that when Dave Meisner walks across the stage, I'm going to be crying. And I just know it's going to happen, and I'm really going to be excited when that happens. So
I just want y'all to know something. couple of years ago, David came over to the house and he was about to throw in the towel for good reason, because things were
Wait, was
stinking.
that David or me? I can't.
Because it was stinking hard. It was hard. There was a season of it being really hard. And we had to look at him. And you know what we had to do is we had to say, David, you got to go home and figure this out. You got to decide if you want to throw in the towel on this, and we'll love you just the same. And I didn't know what he was going to do. Mark, remember that? I remember thinking, oh, what a bummer if David throws in the towel on this one. And look what's happened.
Always. It's always a bummer when people were, for one reason or another. Yeah. When they've got to
It's
go.
just don't give up when it's super hard, y'all, because he found a new crew, and little by little, things have just come alive again, and his team, and it's just been fun, and it's been people that he aligns with, and he's so excited to help. Not that he wasn't helpful or wanting to help the people that were there. It's just all of a sudden he's had some fresh blood in the last year, and it's just changed something drastically. So you guys, we all go through those seasons where it's super hard and we don't see a lot of growth, and you just go, man, is this ever going to break? And so I just want to commend you, David. That was a hard day, but look how close you are, and we're gonna keep going. So it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
I love you guys so much, and I remember that, and I love my old crew too, and quite
Yeah, that's right.
frankly, it was you guys that kept me there. And I remember I had a conversation with Rob Smolik when he was here a few years ago maybe, and he said, David, you have an obligation to your team. And I'm like, I still remember that. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, so when you think about quitting or stepping back, whatever, I mean, think about the people who are counting on you, right? And so I just appreciate all of you. Julie, thank you for those kind words. I'm a professional speaker, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to hold it together at that point. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Carla Joy, it's good to see your face. What do you got to say, girl?
I have not been able to get the video on or the sound on or anything. I've been punching all kind of stuff for the whole thing.
Nope.
Okay, listen, I just want to say though, and it's so beautiful because, I too, well, y'all don't know this, but David knows this. I too was at the point of like, I love these products. I'm going to keep taking the products, but I don't know that I'm going to stay, blah, blah, blah. And David he's like, call Jackie. So I called Jackie, but it was just a couple months after that, because I knew Jody, I was friends with Jody. I've been friends with Jody. And, I mentioned something to her, she was like, I'd like to have a job or whatever. And I said, well, I know people who are making money, and so anyway, God did the work. I told her about the collagen and blah, blah, blah. But anyway, so it's just been such a blessing to have Jody on my team, and then for Jody to bring on Cynthia. And what a blessing. We've had so much fun just doing the meetings together, with all of us together, supporting one another. And that's been such a blessing. And it's just, anyway, because I've been taking the products for 6 years. I've been on the team and taking the products, but even me, myself, I didn't get going. It just took me a while to get going with my team. And I'm still looking, for some more, consultants. But anyway, I'm just thrilled. So, and thank y'all so much. It's such a wonderful team. Everybody, Julie, David, Krista. Y'all, it's just been a blessing. And with Jackie, of course, we all love her. So anyway, what a blessing. And I'm just glad I finally got this thing on so I could say thank y'all so much. And I'm so proud of Jody. I'm so proud of Cynthia anyway. It's just a blessing. So yeah.
Well, we love you, Carla Joy.
Love,
Joy.
love, love all around.
Oh, I just had two more things that David's comments triggered. First of all, it's good that he told Rob, because if he'd have told Summer, he'd have gotten throat punched. The other thing is there's a brand new network marketing company, and I got a call this week from a former LifeVantage guy who chases every new thing under the sun, and it's awesome. And he's got a new. So anyway, just be aware. Be aware that the vultures are circling again.
Yeah, and I wouldn't put it past him to call everybody that I'm looking at.
You might get a call from a former LifeVantage guy. All I'm gonna say is I looked at the product, and if you took a bottle of Icy Hot and you compared it to this product, it would look very similar. That's all I'm saying. But man, are they excited. So shame on us. Shame on us if we can't match the same level of excitement with what we have our hands on. It's just so awesome. The opportunity that we have, the products that we have, the science that we have, publicly traded. My goodness, the leadership. We know these people. I trust these people, both on the field side and the corporate side. I mean, if you had 50 boxes to check and you could check every single one, how excited would you be? We have that. These guys, they have Icy Hot, and they're so excited. Bless their hearts, and I wish them well. But by golly, if we can't match that level of excitement, shame on us. Anyway, I had to say that. Julie, back to you.
Yeah, I just have to say, I was in church on Sunday, and this one man comes up to me, and anyway, he says, "Hey, are you still involved in that thing and that LifeVantage thing?" And I said, "Yeah, and it's been, I'm going on 15 years now." And so anyway, he said, "Wow," he said, "I just saw the stock." And I'm like, "Yeah." I said, "I guess you're glad that you have some stock." He goes, "No, I sold it." And so I got to tell him why the stock is up, about the new GLP-1, and he's going to check it out. But it's just such a great time to be involved with LifeVantage with this GLP-1, and just how it's making such a difference for people and giving people hope. And it's such a great opportunity for us to, to re-engage and to get, involved in the momentum that's happening. And I'm just so super grateful, and thinking about, how long we've been in with LifeVantage and what a blessing that it's been. And I'm just, super grateful. So thank you everyone for joining tonight. And I just want to say that I love all of you. I think, everyone said it tonight. We just have such a beautiful, beautiful team with just beautiful hearts that care and want to make a difference. And, we're thankful for LifeVantage that it gives us that opportunity to touch lives and to make a difference. So love you all. Blessings.
If anyone ever thinks that there's they question, well, you guys have been around for, I don't know, years now, you've probably like tanked, like your moment is gone. If you go to Business for Home, FOR, home.org, and just type in companies in momentum, and they have every company that's a legitimate company and where they are in momentum. And you would think like the new guys are the ones that are really hitting it, right? If you look at the top 20 in momentum, you're going to have to go all the way to the top 10 and look above 10 to find LifeVantage. We're number 7 in the world.
That's great.
In momentum. And we stay there. They rank us by how good a company we are to join. We're consistently in their AAA plus. If you want to do apples to apples with someone about a business opportunity, go there and say, okay, I'll look at yours, look at mine.
What'd you say? It's Business for Home?
Home.org. And that company doesn't even sit in America. I think they're Swedish. And they are a non-biased company. They have their own rankers, their own system, and they are paid by no one to be there. And you can go and find out about any company, good, bad, how they produced, and how much they pay out, where they are in the scale of how good they are. If you go down that list from number 1 down, you're going to find some companies you've never heard of because they're brand new. They're kind of like, but to like another legacy company way down, like number 19 is doTERRA. Yeah, it's not often that a company that's as mature as ours is in those rankings. Like, don't think there's another one that has been there in business as long as we have that is in that top 10. And it'll just make you feel good to go there and look at it. It'll make you feel good about
Well,
what we
and
can.
I'm looking at it right now, and I can tell you that at least 2 of those are one-off products. They're not consumable products.
Exactly.
Well, why in the world would you do that?
Just
Yeah,
a thought. Just
that's
to throw it
a
out.
good looking list. Thank you, Renee.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites.
All right. Well, good night, everyone.
Good
Love
night.
you all.
See you next
Bye-bye.
Everybody.
Okay.
Thanks, Cynthia, for sharing.
Bye-bye.